My name is Peter. I've stuttered since the age of 3, and fortunately I attended a very good intensive course by Dr. Martin Schwartz, and that was the passive airflow course. I've used the passive airflow technique for about 30 years now. For me, it's the best technique there is. I'm not 100% fluent. I would say about 90%. So this is not an absolute cure, it's a management technique. But it works because I believe it addresses the core problem of stuttering, which is an inherited tendency to direct your stress to your vocal cords, which occurs in about 1% of the population. Now, the first component of the technique is a very passive stream of air which should slip out of your mouth before speaking. So it's very passive. I would also like to say that this is not the only, that the technique is only one of a number of things you do to manage your stuttering. Other things are the management of your stress and also some psychological aids such as positive thinking and assertiveness training. So there is a psychological side to stuttering which should be worked on. Now, the purpose of this slight flow of air before you speak is to slightly open your vocal cords before you speak, because we direct our stress to our vocal cords and they tend to lock, and the idea is to slightly open them. The other components of the airflow technique are as follows. The slowing down of the first syllables. If you have to say a multi-syllabic word, such as Mississippi, you're supposed to say Mississippi. So you may have heard I've slowed the first 2 syllables, Mississippi. If it's only a one-syllable word like John, you are supposed to slow that whole syllable as if there were a comma after that first syllable. For instance, in the sentence, John is my name, you would say, John is my name. John is my name. And you may also have heard that I've spoken the word John a bit softer too, because the softer you speak, the less stress on the vocal cords. Right, and the third component is actually quite difficult, that you only use in very high stress situations, or where your scanner is very active. Scanner means that that facility in your mind which scans ahead for feared words. This component is called the intent to rest. That means that you're really not supposed to focus too much on the word you are going to say. You're really supposed to think rest and relax before saying it, but not only physically relaxing, but also a mental relaxation. So, for instance, if you have a feared word which is John, for instance, you would say, you would use the technique like this, John. So as you flow out and say the first word slowly, you also mentally relax, mentally and physically. John. Right. I'm now going to demonstrate the actual airflow. The quality of the airflow is very important. It should be a very passive airflow. The flow should, as it were, evaporate out of your lips. It should drift out of your mouth. It shouldn't be a kind of blowing or a forcing or a pushing of the flow. It should be like this. Mississippi. My name is Peter. My name is John. So I'm going to switch over now to the handheld mic, because that's a very good tool for recording the passive airflow. Dr. Schwartz calls it the flutter. Mississippi. John. John. My name is John. My name is John. I live in Mississippi. John is my name. Actually, John is not my name, it's Peter. So you can hear the airflow should be very passive. The airflow should be very passive. Okay, just two pitfalls you should be aware of. The first, the transition from flowing to speaking should be very gradual and natural. Like you flow and then start to speak. So there should not be a break between the flow and the actual speaking, that the word should actually grow out of the flow, as it were. So you flow and then you start speaking. The second one is the danger of what we call pre-forming. That's where you already start forming the word while you're still flowing. You should first flow and then form the next word. So don't do that. Right. So those are the three basic components of the passive airflow technique: the passive flow, the slowed first syllables, and the intent to rest. And it's not as simple as it sounds, of course. This is a fluency technique which you have to practice. You first have to learn it. You have to practice it. It has to become a bit of a habit, as the stuttering is or was a habit. Now the airflow should be a habit. So that has to be conditioned. It has to be reinforced in your subconscious. And that takes time and effort. Right, well, that's it. There are many more things I could tell you, but I've told them all in my book. You are most welcome to visit my blog, which I'll give details of at the end of this video. My book itself is on my blog now for free, so I don't make any money of it anymore, unfortunately. Right, well, I hope to see you on my blog. Thank you very much, and best of luck with your speech.